Hi, Joseph. Welcome to your time in the spotlight. I'm so excited to have you here and get to know a little bit more about you and your career path and what brought you to Elantis. So
Good.
to start off with, tell me about your career path and how you got to where you are today.
All right. So, like many people, I never thought about getting into the IT industry earlier on. So I studied you know, I got to university, did some political science. I work in real estate, but one thing led to another, and I started in a company that was having hardware and software distribution in Spain, and I started into the IT industry, getting to know the components of computers and software components, and from there I, managed myself to, move to Canada and get another technology job back in the day by selling software to the East Coast in the all North America for a company called PC Mall. After that, I started doing licensing sales for a company called Acrodex, and from there into a different company where I met actually Dave, the CEO of Elantis, in a company called Longview. And I became more specialized into selling software as well as services. And then I joined Elantis, and I'm selling the solution and the services that we do regarding configuring and developing no-code solutions. So that's a little bit of, right, very, very fast transition and path for my career. So yeah, work in a couple of continents, and I work also in cybersecurity as well on my path, and doing sales in Canada as well as internationally.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing. Quite a diverse background, especially spanning different countries and different parts of the IT and technology industries. So that's fantastic. So could you describe for us a little bit of what a day in the life of Joseph looks like for you here at Elantis?
Well,
I guess
day,
what you do here in your sales role.
Sure. I bring revenue. Myself and the team that working in the sales team, we every day we start with looking at the numbers. Where are we with regards to our goals, and what do we need to do to achieve them? Looking for client satisfaction. What are our clients looking for? What do they demand? In our account management positions, we look for what is the market soliciting in regards to services. Are we aligned with what clients are demanding? I also manage vendor relations, so I also discuss with our primary vendors, Microsoft, Nintex, and others with regards to their business propositions and being in alignment. So every day is busy because we are looking for sending proposals and obtaining and qualifying opportunities. Our sales team mostly navigates the waters between a problem and a solution. And that's where we spend most of our conversations, is trying to find solutions for the problems that our customers or clients give us. Account management takes a big role as well in regards to keeping the clients happy and keeping the projects active. We don't do development and sales, but what we do is we represent Elantis in front of the customers. And at the same time, we represent them in front of our development team. So the day varies between obviously our internal meetings as well as client-facing meetings. In some occasions, some travel is required for events in order to generate new leads for opportunities. And my responsibility is to look after that we achieve our revenue goals.
Great. So of everything that you mentioned, what would you say is your favorite part of what you do here in your role at Elantis, what you're most passionate about?
I really like the moment where we can provide a solution to a problem. The magic happens there when we are savvy enough and intelligent enough to say, okay, you want that, you have that problem, this is the way we have solved it. And though I'm not a technical resource, so I'm not as smart as other people at Elantis, I'm able to eloquently speak about it and provide the confidence to our clients that we can do it. The second favorite thing is when we actually achieve the goal of getting in partnership with a client. When we propose, a project, and the project is understood, and we are all in alignment in timing and budget and in expectations. And then, as a person that is in sales, we actually go and we finalize that contractual agreement that puts us in partnership with that client. So that's also a very good moment. So those are my two favorite moments.
I like it. Yeah, especially when those stars align and everything's in alignment and moving forward together. That's pretty exciting. I would agree. So let's back up a little bit, because I'm curious to know what sparked your interest, not just in technology, but in sales, and your whole sales career. What started it all? Was there someone who influenced you when you were younger or earlier on in your career, or did you just find this career path on your own?
I think when I wanted to have a job, I realized that I had an ability to connect with people. So basically, that was what drove me into having a sales role. The first time I applied is, I think I can do it. And from there, it just takes off, right? If you are able to connect with people and successfully navigate a sales cycle, then it is actually, natural. If you have the ability to not only connect with people, but actually to listen, right? To listen what they are looking for. So I'm always been navigating through sales roles, obviously different types, right? It could be direct to enterprise customers as well as the channel sales. There's different tiers of sales positions. So I think I have been on all of them. In my career, I have sold products as well as services. One key and important thing in the IT industry is it's so fast, and it's so fast moving, this industry, that you actually have to learn often the new things. And because I actually did a specialization and certifications on software licensing for many vendors, that was one of the differentiators that I brought into my roles, that I was able to speak the contractual agreements, terms and conditions of these large software agreements, and I was able to understand actually what the technology that I was selling did. So when you match the knowledge of what you're selling does and the benefit it has with all the contractual agreement terms and conditions, and how budgets are decided, and how people connect the dots between the legal part of technology and the budget and the revenue part of technology, it makes the whole thing very different as an experience in selling solutions, because then you understand very well what's everything that happens behind the scenes. And I think that's some of the differences that I think I provide in my career to Elantis and what I've been before.
So you mentioned about how technology changes so quickly, and you really do need to stay on top of it. What are some other ways, in addition to obtaining certifications, that you stay ahead of the curve and you stay on top of these changes that are coming your way?
Well,
in terms
it's
of professional
like everything.
development?
You gotta read, you gotta listen, and you can look for the right sources of information. Obviously, our vendor partners give us training. We also, I actually research on my own what's happening. I actually listen to clients telling me what they are observing. It is quite significant to keep the pace of what you are doing all the time, because, our clients don't have the time either, right? So if we have the time to get savvy about what's next and what is working and not working, we're able to advise our clients that they're so busy with their own businesses and running their own business in their own industries, that we became this, ally for information. And salespeople can do it, right? We can actually be informed about the latest of the technology, and our architects help us to understand if it's too early, or if it's in its infancy, or if it's consolidated, and we can offer it. One of the examples was business process automation, right? It was on its infancy, then solutions and vendors like Nintex developed it to a different level. And, solutions to technology are happening, like cloud one day will be adopted by most companies. So what's the next thing? And, automation. And from automation, what's the next thing? Well, types of automation, robotic process automation. And from that, what's the next thing is what we're going to do with the data. And you have to have a picture of it. And you don't need to know it all, but you need to know enough of the direction. And you can do it in two ways, right? By, reading what the vendors give you, but also your own research.
Thank you. So what attracted you to Elantis?
Well, definitely the friendship and partnership with Dave, our CEO. We've been in contact. We worked together before successfully, and we've been in contact for many years. And when he was making Elantis, this company moving from its infancy to more maturity, the project was pretty exciting, and that's what attracted me to Elantis.
Being part of a growing organization definitely is exciting. Yes. So this could be at Elantis or prior to working here. What would you say has been your proudest moment in your career path so far?
Maybe, I don't know, there's a few. In my personal career, winning the national award for the best partner of Microsoft in Canada, due to my direct contribution, was significant many years ago. And that opened all sorts of doors, and as well as connections that were helpful for business since then. Also achieving the consolidation of our business at Elantis in province of British Columbia, right, was also very good. Now people don't know it. We are British Columbians or Albertans headquarters, right? And that's very good too. But there are other moments that are maybe not as spectacular or giant in name that are extremely significant. For example, the first opportunity we had to work with a Fortune 100 and how we got there. That was an extremely satisfactory moment, and actually opened the door to Elantis to work to other Fortune 100s. So now we can say we are a consulting company that actually works with large enterprise, and we have a way to do it, and we have learned about it. We're not new at it, and that crossing that threshold takes us as a company to a whole new level, and it was driven by sales. So that's one of the proud moments.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a proud moment for sure. So my last question for you today, Josef, what is next for you in your career? Let's say over the next 5 years.
I think there's a plan that is ahead, that is to continue to grow, to work with really good people in the sales team, to create this really good engine of revenue, but also a contribution back on long-term relationships with our clients. We work through relationships, and we are not here to just take a point solution and offer it and that let's go and be gone. We actually developing relationships of trust as we go. So with a larger consolidation of clients, doesn't have to be too large. It's about being with a smart partner clients, having a team of people that is enjoying working on the sales team is the direction that we're going. I believe in the next few years we're going to open new markets. We have the plan to continue growing in the United States. We have the plan to continue growing our presence in the large enterprise and Fortune 100 companies. It's happening as we speak. It's a matter of, more. And I don't know after that. You can trace a 1-day plan. I think you can achieve it. A 3-day plan, you can achieve it. 2 weeks, maybe it's a stretch. A month is a super stretch. So you always have that vision. and
Yes.
things change. But fortunately, from when I started 4 years ago to this moment, all these thresholds and even more than we didn't imagine have happened. And so the positive energy of this beginning in these 4 years I've been here is just a great base and foundation for the next 5 years. So I believe that my dreams about Elantis growth and possibilities are too small to the reality that is coming.
Mm-hmm. Based on your experience and how it's grown so far to date, right? And
Yep.
your involvement in that. So wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing openly today, Josef. I appreciate you and all of your work here at Elantis. And thank you for being in the spotlight.